Hey everyone, this is LEGO's Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom Stygimoloch Breakout set. Comes with a brand new dinosaur, so let's go ahead and take a look at that first. Now the jury is presently out in the scientific community over whether Stygimoloch was its own unique genetic species or if it was just a life stage of the more common Pachycephalosaurus proper, a more popular big dome-headed animal, but I'll let the scientists debate that ad infinitum. They don't have an answer right now. There's a latest theory, but we'll see how that goes. But I think that LEGO has at least done a nice job of putting one together here. It looks pretty nice. I like the colors. I like the prints. This does reuse the existing and well-used body piece and tail. It's all comes together from the Velociraptors, and also that was also used for Dilophosaurus, and they also got the legs and feet which come together that were also previously used for Dilophosaurus. New arms, hands for 2018, also shared with one of the other new Fallen Kingdom dinosaurs, and a brand new head which actually comes only partially assembled. It does not have an opening mouth. The beak is just too small there, but you do put the horns in the back. So some of the horn details are built in, but I appreciate the need to add in the small dark tan barbs there. And this has just a little bit less articulation than the more popular Velociraptors, because you can go up and down with it. Actually, it looks pretty good going up. Too bad you can't angle the head up and down, because I think that would have worked well with this particular specimen. But the arms move up and down. These hands do not hold anything, unlike the Velociraptor ones that have the claws. There's no way to attach anything to this, anything bar shaped or otherwise. And then of course the head just turns from side to side, and that looks pretty cool. I really like the expression here. It just really looks non-threatening. It just looks like a grazing animal, and I like it. I like it a whole lot, even if it isn't necessarily properly set in the historical taxonomical classification. It still ends up looking like a cool little toy. Now the animal enclosure or pen here has a somewhat diamond-like shape, and it's very easy to draw parallels between this and the Velociraptor escape set, I believe it was, from the first Jurassic World movie that LEGO did. But this one is much nicer, nicer looking to me, has a nicer build. I like the detailing around. I like how much texture it has, how many different styles of pieces they include here. This is a relatively recent piece that did not exist back in 2015. And the door here is done really well. It slides up, has a little bit of friction built into it, so you can just slide it on up. And there you go. It holds itself in place, and your animal can just kind of duck through there. Yeah, that works. Just need to get it to duck like that. And so that works out pretty well. This does have a handful of stickers used throughout, but I think that they are well placed and well chosen and well used. The build was enjoyable to put together. None of it was really frustrating at any point. None of it felt like it didn't make sense. You can open the whole thing up if you want. Just be careful not to tear it apart, but open it up like this, and then you can use it as a larger enclosure, or if you get multiple of this set, or just some additional pieces to clip onto these mini clip pieces and bar pieces, then you can very easily and very quickly create a much larger space. That makes a lot more sense. But even in the current default size, it's not bad. I like the shaping, and it just feels complete, even though it's not. The rest of the building isn't there, and other stuff around this isn't there. It feels complete enough. The level of detail is high enough that it feels like they put a good amount of effort into this, and there's a good amount of building involved in it. Now the upper level is an interesting case, because there's so little there. They do at least have access to it, but it's just this little ledge, and yet you can put a figure here. You can put two figures up there simultaneously looking down in the pen. So something like that works. You can put figures out here. It actually works. As small and simple as this is, upstairs, it actually is useful. It really adds to the build in terms of play value and also just posing things around. The lab section is a little bit lacking to me. What detail is there is nice enough. I like the stickers. I think I like the stickers throughout this entire set. You've got a dinosaur calendar up on the wall, and we'll see what that date is exactly supposed to be. I'm not going to say exactly what dinosaur that's supposed to be in the calendar because, Brontosaurus at one point existed and then it didn't exist, according to scientists. And then it existed again. There's the whole Apatosaurus part and everything. So, yeah, the science continues to evolve and figure itself out. Similarly, Stygimoloch, we don't know if it's actually Pachycephalosaurus, blah, blah, blah. This, I think, is supposed to be an incubator, has a couple of eggs in there, and it's a large enough table to have some space to do additional things, but there's nothing else to do with it. I wish there was just one more thing in here, just one instrument, microscope, or something, just something else. It doesn't need to be complete, but it feels just a little bit lacking here. In terms of the breakout features, to get the dinosaur to actually do some damage, they work pretty well. You can break through here, gets in, that works, and then just kind of go to town inside of here. See, this is where I wish there was more stuff to actually destroy and more stuff that you could do with your dinosaur, because all they intend for you to do is to break in and then break through or out, and that goes like so. There we go. Yeah, I've tried that quite a number of times, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. The best way to kind of force it to work is to lift while you headbutt it. But see, it kicks out this window here, and then it knocks the entire desk back. Sometimes these little table legs will fall off. Sometimes they don't. I don't think they're intended to fall off. You can actually see some of the scrapes from my multiple attempts at getting this to work right. Sometimes if it's set up just right and you're trying to headbutt it completely straight on, sometimes it just won't break through at all. So try to give a little lift in there, and that's really the key to making this work properly. Very easy to reset. I just wish there was a little bit more to destroy here. The figures are Dr. Wu and an unnamed generic guard. I think both of these figures are very good, and I'm especially happy to be able to get another Dr. Wu, given that the first time around, for the first Jurassic World movie, we only got one as, I believe it was a poly bag, and it wasn't even that widely distributed at that, which was weird. It's a character that you want to get. I remember it was a little bit difficult to earn that character in the game, the Jurassic World, the official Lego Jurassic World game, but this one looks pretty good. Does have some print on the back as well, fortunately, and an alternate face. That's very important to me. That's a good alternate face. None for the guard, but that is just a solid, good-looking face. I mean, forget about the individual character. That's just a great, stern expression. It's really strong with the lines, the fold lines, the skin lines that they put in there, the expression lines, and the colors work together really well. Both of these, to me, good figures, and for accessories, we just get the coffee mug that I showed you in the lab, and then this tranquilizer gun. In all, this whole thing feels pretty good to me. I feel like I get a pretty good value for the price. The price to part ratio doesn't look all that great, but relative to other $30 US sets, I feel like the volume of stuff here is good. The quality of the build is good. And just the level of detail throughout this nice enclosure is just enjoyable to look at. It was good to put together. Not the most durable thing, but the builds are pretty good in terms of the part usages, pretty efficient with the part usages. I really like the new dinosaur. I like the figures. We could have used, I think, maybe a third generic, or a second generic figure, a third figure altogether, but I'm not too disappointed in this. I feel like this is enough. I just wouldn't have minded, one additional one. This feature back here works okay. But like I said, I do wish there was one more small thing in there. Just something made with like 4 or 5 pieces. Real simple, just a little island little bit of table and a little bit of cabinetry that you could knock over. Basically, I think would have added a little more detail to the place. But overall, what is here is good, and I do feel that in spite of the price to part ratio, whatever it looks like, the amount of stuff that I get here makes it worth it. So overall, I'm pretty happy with this. Let me know if you have any thoughts about the set on the whole. Feel free to leave a comment. And I'm going to keep working and bringing you more videos, so I'll talk to you again soon.